In this episode, we'll learn about the March on Trans Rights,
take a look at football and freshman fundraising,
rank bagels,
and get an inside scoop on the student-led musical.
I'm Zoey Hall.
And I'm Brooklyn Hicks.
And this is GET 8. Geez, have you seen this new AntiTrans legislation?
It's a crazy world out there.
Yeah, Parker takes a closer look of a local trans march.
This is what unity looks like.
Go on.
Okay!
Clayton has the biggest scoreboard in Missouri.
What? Did you say Clayton has the biggest score in all of Missouri?
Yeah, and next year we'll have some pretty big scores to put on it too. Dilia tells us all about the new Clayton-Brentwood merger.
So Misha created the idea, and it's actually formally termed a cooperative sponsorship. And it's when 2 to 3 schools come together to form one team. They have it for several reasons. A lot of schools have a very small population.
Both Brentwood and Clayton had a need to be able to help their football programs due to declining enrollment.
In our case, there's just less interest in playing the game of football right now, and we're seeing that across the entire country. In 2004, when we won the state championship, we had 110 kids. And if you look at the trend line, it goes from that number and it continues to go down. It went all the way to 25 about 4 years ago. So we've been able to join with Brentwood to create one team to have more interest. The greatest impact is going to be on our lower level football players and those who are interested. Our numbers have not allowed us to have a full JV schedule. Essentially, we've had students straight from Y-Down as freshmen playing in games against players from other schools that may have 4 years experience and are that much stronger than them. Sometimes it leads to an unsafe environment for them. We can have a varsity roster with Brentwood and a JV roster with Brentwood. Then it'll also be a lot safer because of the ability and strength of the athletes they're playing against will be the same as theirs.
I think it's like a very positive thing about the merge because we have 30 returning players and they have like 15 to 20. If we didn't merge, we'd both like go 1-9 or 2-8 again, and I'm just not trying to have that happen. I think there's more competition. People are like gonna be worried about losing their spot. They're not gonna be like guaranteed a spot.
I personally think it's a good thing, more competition towards like players, like everybody wants to work harder because you're not guaranteed a position on the football team.
It'd be kind of awkward, I guess, for some people because it's just like meeting like 15 to 20 new people. And you've never seen them before, but you're gonna play as one.
From a football standpoint, you need to figure out what your coaching staff is gonna look like. And so you've gotta determine who your head coach will be and then figure out how to merge both current football staffs together.
All of our practices will be here at Gayfield. 4 to 5 games will be hosted at Clayton High School, and then the remainder could be at Brentwood High School on their field, which allows them to have a homecoming and allows us to have a homecoming as well. All the traditions that we've had in place will remain, but we'll also be welcoming the Brentwood community as well.
The only thing I'm concerned about is like splitting up home games and having Brentwood Clayton on our jerseys. That's kind of going to be awkward.
I think just the relationship building with the other team, maybe our chemistry doesn't get along. Like we got freshmen coming in and some sophomores returning. Hopefully they get along and they don't really disrupt like what we're trying to build.
But I think with this cooperative sponsorship with Brentwood, it's going to perk student interest. When you're able to host a game on Friday night, or hopefully we're having more success. With more success is a more exciting environment, and more people want to come out and watch.
All of our seniors, like we had 13 seniors on the team that's like leaving, and like our student section was mostly seniors. So like that's really going to affect us, but if like they come to our games, we're going to come to their games. So just like the student section would be better, I think.
The team, I just want to win more games, make people happy. I mean, if I can end this season going out on like a win, just coming out happy, like knowing I had good games, knowing I worked as hard as I could.
We'll have the best 11 guys out there, and with that, we'll be able to win more games.
I mean, I'm kind of hyped. I mean, I'm not really nervous. I mean, we're just coming there to play football and just win games, so, I mean, nothing to worry about. RJ will be missed.
Girl, I am broke.
Well, you better start saving, because the freshman class is having a fundraiser.
You know what fund they can raise for? The ZMH Foundation.
What's that?
The Zoey Michelle Hall Foundation.
Well, Riley gives us an inside scoop on that upcoming event.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the fun. I'm President Wayne, and I'd like to invite you to 2 events that the freshman class of 2026 will be holding in the next 2 weeks. The first event will take place on April 28th. We're partnering with a company called Amp Up to have a class fundraiser. If you like riding go-karts, doing virtual reality, and laser tag, then this event will be perfect for you. And it's all gonna take place at their facility. The second event we're holding is called the Rainbow Color Run. On May 5th, you can look just as colorful as me and get sprayed with a lot of color while running a course at Shaw Park with a custom-made t-shirt. Sign-ups for the color run, it's gonna be really fun. Sign-ups for the color run are now open, and you can sign up by midnight tonight. And we're also partnering with local restaurants in the St. Louis area to provide you with food afterward. If you want more information on both of these events, you should always check your email and flyers across the school. Thank you very much, and you have a wonderful afternoon.
Guess who came back from the dead? Jesus? No comment. Actually, I was gonna say Mr. Peck.
Next up, AnMei and Mr. Peck try to find the best bagels in St. Louis.
So just for the kind of sophomores and freshmen who may not have been around last year, what sort of happened around spring break?
It was pie day, and I had 7 pieces of pie and felt bad afterwards, and turns out I was having a heart attack. I came pretty close to not being here.
So a lot of times when people have near-death experiences, they kind of do crazy things once they come back. So what are some changes that you made after you?
So I didn't really change a whole lot, but I did decide I needed to up the level of bagels. Once you've looked mortality in the face, you realize certain things you just don't skimp on, and bagels is probably my #1 choice.
What in your opinion makes a good bagel?
It has to have a nice firm crust. The color needs to be that sort of light golden brown. It needs to have texture on the inside, not smushy. Like, it's got to have like a firmness to it, but also be soft.
Wow, it's
Yes.
a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
So about how many bagels do you think you've eaten in your life, or I guess lives?
My goodness, I've never actually put a number to it, but I'd say probably over 20,000 for sure.
So your favorite bagel factory closed. I see there's definitely a demand for a new favorite bagel. So would you be interested in trying some bagels?
Sure.
Today? Hello, we are here with the great Mr. Peck, and we're going to try some bagels today. So we have 4 bagel shops from across St. Louis. We'll begin with bagel number 1. So initial visual thoughts, what are we thinking?
It's okay. This would be classic bread.
So that's bad?
Can do better. It does have a okay crust on it. It's the right color, but you can see it's a spongy on the crust
Right.
too.
It's fine. Decent flavor.
This is a St. Louis bagel for sure. Okay, number 2.
Okay, bagel 2. Ooh, the initial thoughts.
Initial thoughts,
Right.
it's not cooked evenly. It's a little finer texture on the inside. You see it's not as airy. Right.
It's fine.
It's
I'm not getting.
No, it's
A lot.
I would say you're right. It's fine. It's the right. You look at this and you're gonna think it's a bagel,
There's nothing.
and you'd be right.
Yeah, we're gonna like rank them as we go. So are you thinking this one a bit higher than that one?
I'm actually thinking the 2 over 1.
2 over 1. Okay.
Yes.
So, so we'll put them like this way. So like this will be like first place.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
Great.
All right, moving on to bagel 3. There you go. Wow. Much
Nice.
smaller.
Much smaller. Nice,
Looks
crispy
definitely,
texture
yes.
on the outside. This one is a little stale.
I will say I did get this bagel yesterday.
There's a difference.
Right. Okay.
But, and I bet you this bagel fresh toasts these.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
You think first place over all of
Yep.
these? Okay. Let's scoot them
Moving
down.
down. Number 4.
Fourth and final.
Interesting.
pale.
It is pale. The texture on the inside is okay, but the crust does have a little bit of crunchiness to it.
Where do you think it's going?
I think it goes to number 2. So that's what I think.
Where am I?
1, 2, 3, and 4.
Perfect.
So, yes.
So 4th place, bagel number 1.
Schnucks.
You're going Schnucks?
I'm going Schnucks.
It's actually Einstein Browse Bagels.
Oh, okay.
So Einstein,
No.
work on your bagels.
Yes.
So this is bagel number 2, got 3rd place. This is actually a Panera bagel, or St. Louis Bread Co. for the local.
You know, it's a little denser than that one. So you could theoretically, if you had no respect for bagels, you could take this and slice it like a loaf of bread.
Right.
Right.
Oh, number 4. Bagel number 4 was actually a Schnucks bagel.
Okay. All right.
So it
So not
honestly
too
fared
bad.
pretty high. 1st place bagel was Bagel Union. Have you ever been there?
I have not.
Well,
Where is it?
They're pretty new. It's in Manchester.
All right.
Yeah, they have very good bagels.
Yes,
Clearly
clearly they are making a good bagel.
Yes. All right. Well, thanks for
Thank you.
watching. This has been Bagels with Mr. Peck, a man who's seen God, and Bagel Union comes out as our victor. So here we go.
I don't know if LAC stands for Lacrosse or the LA airport.
Don't you play?
Oh, right.
Let's watch Luke's hype video on the Clayton Lacrosse team.
Only thing that's on my mind is who's gonna run this town tonight. It's a dangerous love affair.
Did you get your tickets yet?
For SZA? Of course I did.
She's going on tour? And I was talking about the student run musical.
Oh, well, AnMei gives us the immortality on this year's SRN.
So she coming to the Enterprise or?
My name is Claudia. I am the co-director of this year's student run musical, Tuck Everlasting. Okay, I'm Madeline and I play Winnie in the show.
My name is Angela Chen and I play Jessie Tuck.
So as co-director, Jack, Elias, and I, we've been blocking the show, so we've been deciding where actors move, how they move on stage. And we've also been sort of administrators throughout the whole process, coordinating with other directors like our music director, Hubby Hulsher and Holly Connor, and our choreographer, Trey Perlett, as well as tech, costuming, and all other forms of directing. So Tuck Everlasting tells the story of Winnie Foster, who is an 11-year-old girl in 1893 in New Hampshire. Her family is supposed to be grieving, but she is ready to move on and wants adventure, but her mom still very much wants to shelter her.
She runs away from home because she's mad at her mom, and she runs into Jessie, and she catches him drinking from a spring, and she's like, oh, I'm thirsty.
Then she finds out that the family is actually immortal and wants to be immortal with them.
And they go on this whole great adventure together.
A lot of the show takes place in the woods near this spring, like this fountain of youth. It's just sort of like this old whimsical time period. The elements of lyrical dance add a lot of whimsicality and sort of magic to the show as well.
There's a lot of very high energy numbers, but there's also varying levels of it.
There's lots of dancing and upbeat songs. But then there's also slower and more sad, emotional songs. My favorite part is the Sitzprobe, the first day we play with the pit orchestra. I just like singing with the live music for the first time. I really liked getting to block a show. I directed earlier in the fall, but I've had a little more liberty to make decisions in this show as it's entirely student directed.
Getting to work a lot more with everyone was very fun, and it feels very connected with everyone.
Excited. I think we're in a really good place and it's gonna be a great show.
Have you listened to the new song for Diana with Nicki Minaj and Ice Spice? Girl, it's the one I've been waiting for.
Me too, honestly. I love both of their works.
Yeah, it's perfect for going out at night too.
Speaking of nightlife, here's Kevin's skit called, Nightlife.
Yeah, you wanna see my Ice Spice dance though?
When I'm feeling down, I go on walks to clear my mind. Recently, I've been feeling very lonely.
I don't want to be friends anymore.
Okay.
I have things to do, work, hobbies, chores, but no one to do them with.
Please don't be angry.
I'm not.
Sometimes when you listen to a song too many times, you start to dislike it. I think what I need is something different, something to shake things up.
Are you alright, man?
Fine.
Hey, you want to see my band play tonight?
Do I know you?
No. You ready?
Yeah.
Meet me up front.
Sometimes you listen to a song once and you're already sick of it.
You didn't like it.
Not really.
Come on.
This has been Zoey Hall
and Brooklyn Hicks for GET,
a production of the Greyhound News Network.
Happy
Studying
studying,
CHS. Roll Hounds!